Right by my step van here, there is a deer walking just down to the edge of the parking lot. It's absolutely tame. Good morning. I am standing right outside of the Olympic National Park Visitor Center. So today I'm going to be entering into the Olympic National Park and exploring this area. I don't know too much about it other than that there's supposed to be a really amazing visitor center, not at this location, but across the park for a rainforest. So I'm going to be hitting that sometime today, but I'm going to head in here first to this visitor center and get their recommendations for a route for the day, including stopping at the other visitor center. It is just gorgeous out today, perfect weather. I'm really excited to be exploring this area. I've never been here before. I just came from the visitor center. They were very nice. These guys, the rangers, are always super helpful. They gave me a map. I have sort of a tour. It's very typical of some of the national parks where they've created sort of a circular route around the park, so it's very logical. There's 2 or 3 visitor centers here. I'm going to head next to Hurricane Ridge Visitor Center. It's about 40 minutes from here. Apparently it's pretty high elevation going up in the mountains. Should be fabulous and really beautiful to see. And then I'll continue around the island heading west and then eventually to the south. So basically, here's the map back here. We're over here. Gonna head down south up into the mountains here to the Hurricane Ridge and then back out and then go to a giant lake that's created by a glacier. And apparently, because of the nitrogen levels in the lake, it is super clear because the small algae and stuff doesn't grow there. It's inhibited by the lack of the nitrogen. So anyway, I'm going to stop there. I may end up doing lunch there, not sure, and then continue around this way over to the Hoh rainforest. Hopefully I'll get there this afternoon and then decide if I'm going to continue on or camp somewhere here. Then along this south area there is another beautiful area on the coast, and then the last stop will be in this other rainforest. This is the Quinault Rainforest Ranger Station. So that'll be the last place. So those are all the main places to see in this particular park. They say it takes a day to a day and a half. I don't know if I'll get to all of it today or not. I'm going to hit the road, get up to Hurricane Ridge. I've arrived at the Hurricane Ridge Visitor Center. I'm headed over there now. There's a guy up here on the ridge, and there's probably about 4 or 5 of these artists that have easels set up, and it looks like they're painting or drawing the beautiful view out here. So they're all perched up on the ridge. There's about 4 or 5 down that way and 1 guy back here. Outside of the visitor center, they have a spectacular viewing deck just looking down on these mountains here. Incredible. Right by my step van here, there is a deer walking just down to the edge of the parking lot. It's absolutely tame. It's going to walk right in front of the artist who's doing his painting and sketching. It's quite amazing. I'm walking towards it. The ranger inside of the visitor center there recommended I go in this half-mile loop that crosses just over the ridge so I can see the north view from the mountaintop instead of the south view, which is what you see inside the visitor center. That was a very short walk, like 5 minutes, and you're over the ridge, and you can see this amazing viewpoint and a giant drop-off here. Well, that was well worth the walk and well worth the drive. I'm going to head over to the next point, which is the lake that was formed by the glacier. I was told by a park ranger that there are construction delays along the roadway here by the lake. I'm not sure how long the delays are, but they said to expect up to 30 minutes. It's been about 20 minutes now, and people are pretty much getting out of their cars, wandering around. It's enough time to where I got up, made myself a sandwich, had some lunch, gave myself a haircut while I'm waiting. Why not just use my trimmers sitting outside the door? I'm not sure how much longer it'll be, but you can't ask for a better place to be waiting and sort of broke down than this. So it's just absolutely gorgeous here and perfect weather conditions. I'm as happy as could be, except that I would like to just take a nap. And if I had some sort of alarm system to wake me up to drive again, I would definitely do that. I've arrived at the Storm King Ranger Station. I have no idea where that name comes from, but I'm going to go in and find out. The ranger station here is closed for the summer. It's a bit odd, I think, because I would think tourist season would be the summer, but anyway, it's closed today. I'm going to wander down to the lake and take a look. It is really very blue, green, turquoise color. Very brilliant here. I'd read earlier that the nitrogen content is different in this lake, and so that the small algae and the small microbacteria does not really grow here, so that's why it's so clean and so clear. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm at the Hoh Rainforest Visitor Center. This is probably the last stop that I'm going to be able to get in, just because it's the end of the day. There's 2 loops, one that goes through the moss and fern forest and the other that goes down by the river. So I'm going to do the moss and fern area. One of the most often questions that I get asked about travel is the most beautiful place that I've ever been to in the entire world. Before I started traveling, my answer to that would be Yosemite National Park in California. It's absolutely gorgeous there. Most people that have visited, it will be in their top 3 or 4 places, the most beautiful places in the world. And for a long time, it was on my top 2 or 3. Until I had a place that pretty much left everything else in the dust. And that's a place in Japan called Mount Koya, or Koyasan. It's a small mountain with a forest on top and 116 Buddhist temples. The reason I bring this up is because this place here reminds me of Mount Koya, Koyasan. The forest here looks very, very similar to the one in Japan. There's the big tall trees with the beautiful sunlight streaming down through them. Very bright green. It's just gorgeous. I'm not even sure if I can capture this on video. And what makes it even more unique is you picture this natural setting and put a graveyard in the middle of it, one of Japan's largest graveyards, primarily for diplomats, politicians, generals, and very, very famous religious leaders, mostly Buddhist. So there's this giant graveyard that takes about 2 hours to walk through in this incredible forest with ferns and moss that is like this. So if you were to transplant that graveyard and put it here, that's what you would get. And that's what comes to mind when I see this place. So this might be in my top 5. It's pretty beautiful here. It's pretty amazing. Quite gorgeous here. Personally, I always thought that a rainforest would be, I don't know, drizzling rain and like steam coming up from the ground and super sticky and your skin's always sweating. Sort of like what you would see in the movies with gorillas jumping between the trees and tigers and lions and stuff. That was a gorgeous walk through the forest. Absolutely beautiful here, obviously. I'm finished at the park. I think I'm gonna find some food. It's about 5 o'clock right now. I think I'll probably head south from here towards Olympia and find a small city somewhere in between to get some dinner and then figure out where I'm going to crash for the night. That's all I have for this episode. Thank you for watching. Savor the moment. See you next episode.